Watch Loyal to the Foil, but don't believe anything she says. Do your own research for yourself. Don't let other people think for you.
What is up, people? Welcome to Cognitive Dissonance, the channel where we try to examine some of the crazy shit going on around us. I have a little bit of help with that today. What is up, Nick Houston, Scott Robinson, Ashley J? Good to see you. Thanks for the sub, Damian Click. Good to see you. Look at you guys. Casey Sims, Frightening Me, Margaret Birdsong. What up, Alara? I see you over there on Foxhole Wingman. What up, Disco Daphne? Good to see you. Good to see you guys. So I've got something. We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do something a little bit different tonight. You guys know usually I got my Tuesday crazy question woo day. We are definitely gonna get to some woo. Definitely gonna get to some woo. Yeah, Nick, don't take advice from lizards, man. For sure. That's rule number one, right? So I got my dude. What up, Christina Fontaine? I got my dude here with me, EyeGod TV. Now, he's gonna break down some knowledge to us. Okay, he's gonna explain the Kemetic supreme science. And fam, I
Yes.
gotta tell us what is the Kemetic supreme science, man.
Well, technically, Kemetic supreme science would be what they would call polytheism, so to speak.
Okay.
Because what people think as is polytheism, but it's actually, if you decode it, it's breaking down the science of the human body, the whole universe in itself, you know?
So
But through
so
polytheism, they make us feel like it's gods, so that way we don't tap in as, like we should.
so they've been lying to us because I think that's something we can all agree on. You might got to can you are we 5 by 5 fam? Can you guys hear? Yeah, a little bit. All right. So what we're doing tonight, I actually had him put together some information for us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you host and I'm going to
Okay.
let you roll with it. What up, AP? Good to
All
see
right.
you. Good to see you. And I'm gonna let you roll with this so we can get a little bit of an understanding because I believe we are gonna be dragging you on to conspiracy couch one of these
Yes,
weeks here
I'm
soon,
excited.
right? And I want to let the people kind of get a feel for what's going on here. Let me. Oh, you might still be the host. All right, you might still be the host. Actually, are we good?
All right.
They're saying your audio. You might got to drag that mic all the way in, fam. There
How's
you
that
go.
sound?
Is
Is that
that better?
better?
That is better. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right.
All right.
Feel free.
First I want to say I'm honored to be on the show. Thanks you once again. I watch all the time. I stay up on the episodes. So I'm actually excited to be here. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going to break down some mysteries. We're going to decode the mysteries and bring out the truth. That's what happens on this channel.
That's
iGod
right.
TV. That's the source of the whole thing for us. And tonight we're gonna break it down. We're gonna change polytheism into supreme science. Okay,
That
tonight.
thanks for the cookie, Belushi. That's what I want to hear. We want the supreme knowledge, man. We don't want this low level
No,
divisionary lies that they feed us. I want to know what is really going on. So break it down for us.
exactly. And it all leads back to us.
Absolutely.
Just be prepared for the ownership in the end. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let me share my screen.
Have at it.
Oh, hold on. Now I think you are the host still.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Hold on. Yep, I'm tripping. Ha. There we go.
There we go. Okay. All right, let me share my screen. Here we go. All right. First, we all know exactly what this is. This is the Ankh, the famous Ankh that we all know about. And if they ask you what the Ankh is, what is the Ankh, they would say, oh, it's the symbol of life. It represents life. Okay. And then some people a little deeper in the mysteries would tell you that it represents light. And if you go even further, you would say light and life are the same exact thing. Okay. The
Absolutely.
creator is life, the creator is light, and light is life, which connects us all together to each other. Okay. Now, remember, I said that at the end of this. Okay. So we all see the Ankh. Okay. Now let's look at the dimensions of the Ankh. Okay. We see the curve at the top, the curvature at the top. We see what would be like a cross. And then we see the handle down here at the bottom, okay? Now, this here in the middle would look like a coil. It's what they call the Djed. Now, I have showed in other podcasts that this represents the spine, okay? Let me show you right here. Okay? This is what you saw in the middle of that Ankh, which is actually a duplicate to your spine right here. Okay? Now let me go back. All right. So when we're looking at this, what we were talking about earlier is the polytheism and the supreme science. Okay. So in polytheism, they would tell you that this is the Ankh and it represents life and is carried by gods. Okay. Which give the life. Okay. Well, today we're going to show you that this symbol is a part of the human body, and I'm going to show you exactly how it represents light and life, okay? First, we're going to go with light, okay? Here we are. Here's another diagram of the Ankh, but as we see, it's being used as a type of a battery, okay? We see the magnet, we see the copper, we see the coils, and the magnet on the top. Okay? An electrical conductor. All right? This is the light. This is how they would generate the light from the Ankh. Okay? And I'm gonna prove it to you right here. Later on, there was an inventor by the name of Tesla.
Everybody that's watching this loves some Tesla talk. Believe that.
Okay? So when we're talking about Tesla, we're looking at the Ankh, okay? I'm showing you right here. Here's the spiritual representation of the Ankh. Here's the physical representation of the Ankh, okay? And anyone who knows anything about a battery, they know how these components work together to conduct electricity and light, okay? Now, if you look at the dimensions of this exactly, I'm gonna show you what Tesla pulled from this wisdom, did not invent it himself, what he pulled from the supreme Kemetic science to bring light to our homes.
Oh, look at that.
Here's Nikola Tesla's electric oscillator, okay? You see at the bottom, the Djed, okay? Let's go back to Kemetic. The Djed, okay? Okay?
I'm with you.
Here's Nikola Tesla, right here. Here's his invention, okay? Right here. Okay, let's look at the dimensions, family. All right. We see the curve. We see the curve. We see the magnets. We see the stems on the ends. Here we see it again. Thousands and thousands of years before Tesla was even born, okay? Here it is. You see the battery down here. You see the copper. All right. This is his famous invention of the beginning of the light bulbs, okay? Let's take a look again. All right. Now, I'm going to show you how we bring this to a physical level and what this had to do with the human body. What is the life? What is the life part of the Ankh? I'm showing you the light. I'm showing you the physical science of how they were able to manifest something physical out of this symbol here, okay? This ancient symbol. Now I'm going to show you how it connects to you, especially our females in the building tonight. I'm going to show you exactly how electricity was brought to the planet and exactly how they did it, okay? And how it connects to the human body, okay? Here we go. Okay?
Boom, look at that.
Ladies, you see this? Ladies, do you see this? Okay? You know exactly what we're showing here. Okay? These are the reproductive organs. You have the ovaries, okay? Vagina, birth canal. Sorry for all those who are sensitive in here tonight.
We don't get triggered over here, fam.
This is the science, okay? This has nothing to do with gods, spookism, anything out of the ordinary. This is all about you, and this science has always been about you. Okay? It has nothing to do with gods. It has nothing to do with evil. It has to do with you, and you is the only thing they never want to figure out. They don't ever want you to figure out yourself. That's the thing they've been holding back from you this whole time is you. You're what they're holding back, okay? And we're going to give you a little glimpse of it tonight, okay? Now, we're showing you right here how the symbols are exactly the same, okay? The curve, the size, the stem, okay? We see it here. We see it here. We see it here, and we see what Tesla brought to life, okay? And when we look back at this, the female reproductive organs, we know that this is where life is created, okay? This is where the womb exists. Everything in this universe is in the womb. Nothing can exist without a womb, okay, ladies? For when they got you thinking that you're less than holy, all right? Nothing could exist out here without a womb, okay? Nothing in this universe is here without a mother, okay?
Right, a mother, not a birthing person.
Exactly. The very first hieroglyph in Kemet for God was a woman. The very first glyph of God was a woman in ancient Kemet. You can look it up. Don't believe me. Look it up for yourself.
I can rock with that.
Okay. Now, what I want to show here is I just really want to show you that this part of the woman human body is where they got this. Okay. This is where the Kemites got this symbol. They were talking about this. Okay. And life. And light, like we said, they're the same exact thing, okay? This is where life, physical life comes from, out of everything, okay? Out of every living being, okay? This is how you get here, everyone, okay? They use these principles here to create this, okay? These same minerals, you see where it said, well, you say house copper, what does any of this have to do with it? Well, we all know that our body is full of vitamins and minerals, okay? So the copper is there, okay? The conductors are there naturally in the body, okay? Which can eventually, to someone who can tap into the science and not believe the polytheism, to create this, which would eventually create this. Okay, ladies, you see that?
The light and the life rock together.
Exactly. Okay, just from one part of the woman, of the human body, we were able to light up the planet. Okay, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. It has nothing to do with someone bringing in this and an invention or some crazy idea someone came up with, okay? No, there was specific way this was done, and it was through the study of the human body, and this is how we brought light into our homes, okay? Now I want to show you what I was showing you earlier, okay? This is the Djed pillar, okay? And I also said is the spine, okay? It directly matches up with all the vertebrae and the whole spine, okay? This is actually a staff of Ptah. The god Ptah in Kemet would carry this, okay? But he was representing this electromagnetic force that goes up and down your spine, okay? Now we want to focus in on the very top of this, okay? Now look at this. You see how it's stacked, okay? And it says here they would have copper, paper, zinc. These would be the elements that they would put here to conduct the electricity, okay? So for all those who are wondering, oh, how could you have a tomb 2 miles under the earth and paint perfect paintings and pictures down there? How could you see? Well, some people say, oh, well, torches. No, first of all, you're not going to have a torch that's going to be able to be lit that deep. And second of all, there's no residue on the ceilings. Where's the residue? If there was torches used in the building of the tombs down miles deep into the earth, where's the residue?
Right, there'd be soot and all kind of mess. Right.
Exactly. You wouldn't be able to really see the hieroglyphs. These things are preserved still when they crack these tombs open. Okay. So this is also how I'm showing you how they were able to see miles deep down into the earth when they were building these burial tombs in the Valley of the Kings and in the Valley of the Queens. Okay, now back to what I was saying. We see how the top of the Djed pillar is stacked. This is also the top of your, right at the top of your spine, behind your skull, okay? Those vertebrae up here, those 33 degrees are right here, okay? Now, I want to show you, I just told you that this is how they conduct the electricity, okay? Produce the electricity. And here, I'm gonna prove it right here and show you how today we use this same exact technology for the electricity today.
Look at that.
Okay?
For sure.
500 BC, 3,500 plus BC, okay? Outside right now, outside your house right now, bringing power to your home, okay? So when you think about the ancients and they let you think that we have technology now, we don't. We don't, okay? We don't. It's as simple as that. Here you see right here, this, which is also what? The spine, okay? We've shown you 2 parts of the human body that they studied and used to create physical things for us to use on this planet, okay? This is the supreme Kemetic science, okay? These are not gods. These are not entities. These are not spooks. This is wisdom of the human family. This is your wisdom. This is you. You're looking at yourself. You're looking at the science of you when you step outside. You created this. You created this, okay? A creator created you, and from the study of you is what we have here today, which is just one example, which is one of the major examples, electricity into all of our homes, okay? Without that, we wouldn't even have this broadcast on tonight, okay? So thank you once again, ladies, first of all. Okay? And just for everybody just to know the empowerment of this is us and this place belongs to us. I know they like to make us think that this world was handed over to an entity and it no longer belongs to us. I'm letting you know tonight, it is us and it always will be, okay? And I also want to point out that these so-called inventions that they speak of aren't inventions, okay? We just proved that here, that these aren't inventions. This knowledge has been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, okay? And I'm gonna also prove that here too, okay? You see this? Very first president of the United States, so-called, okay?
Right. Look at this.
Look at the apron, family.
Yeah, look at this Masonic.
Look at the Masonic
dude.
aprons, okay?
Right.
You looking at this as evil. You're looking at this as, oh my God, what is he showing this for, okay? I'm showing you the apron. Look at the dress, okay? Look at what he's wearing, okay? Now here we go. Let's go to Kemetic. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? You see
I
the
can see it.
apron of the builders, the stone builders. You see the aprons, okay? And over here, you see the god Anubis, they call him, but his name is actually translated as Anpu. You see the god Anpu or Anubis handing over the light and the life, okay? He's the guardian of the spirits. What's he doing? Giving the light, opening of the mouth ceremony. If you ever, any of us have ever read the Book of the Dead, okay? You're seeing it right here. But we see the light in the center of the Ankh, the womb. We see it right here. Everything that to be birthed has a womb, okay? So my point is, we see the dress, okay? We see the apron of the masters of supreme science, what they would call polytheism, to keep you away from it, okay? Because like I said earlier, the thing that the biggest mystery is you. And they want to keep it that way, but we're here to change that tonight, okay? Now, for those that didn't want to believe that, I'm gonna show you one more, just so we can set it in stone, so to speak, no pun. Okay?
Look at that.
Okay? We see it right here, family. They say nothing is new under the sun. We're showing it to you right here. Okay, loyal to the foil, EyeGod TV. We ain't playing no games tonight. Okay,
Ain't playing no, for sure.
We came to decode everything.
My people love some decodes. I will tell you that. They are down with the decodes, man.
I appreciate that because
Down with the decode.
That's what supreme science is. Supreme science is pulling down the veil, seeing through, reading between the lines, so to speak, and seeing what's really being shown to you. And then you can realize that all this has been passed down and been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. But certain people now have taken claim to it and ownership of it. And
yeah, to keep us suppressed, to keep us down.
Exactly.
You know, and they you know, we've talked about, you know, obviously I'm a Christian, right? But you know me. I mean, you actually know me, so you know that wasn't necessarily always the case, right?
Right. Right.
But they want us to believe we're divided. You know, they want us to believe we're separate from the creator. They want us to believe that we don't have that connection, that there's nothing but what they give us, that they are, like you said, the masters of our reality, which is horseshit.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the separate, when they separated us from the creator that's the fall. Exactly. Right there.
Precisely. Now, absolutely. Absolutely.
You have to see it in yourself. You have to see it in yourself. And that's the way you do it. A lot of people, they back away from science and they say, oh, well, what science have to do with spirituality or any religious beliefs? This is the evidence.
Right.
If you want to know how the creator works, this is how you find out. Okay. This is how you remove the questions. Okay. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out the creator, but he's already told us in numerous books, you're not going to do that. It's impossible.
Man, there's just some things we aren't going to know. There are just some things you have to feel it resonate in you, you know, and be able to use that resonance to sift through the lies they feed us, because they feed us so much shenanigans, man.
That's right.
Like just straight crazy train all the time, you know.
To keep us dependent. They have to keep us dependent so that their world can exist. Their world exists on dependence. They need us to have to go to the grocery store to supply us with food, have to go to the doctor for the medicines. You know, without the knowledge of us knowing how to do that ourselves, we always gonna have to depend on them to take care of it, which was always what? Keep them in power. As long as we stay dependent, that's how long they're gonna stay in power.
For sure. For sure.
Independence is the key, which is how it happened in America in the beginning, right?
Absolutely.
It's ironic they were fighting for the independence, and now it's us that's going to have to fight for it next.
Again, right? Damien says they warped the whole timeline. Yes, they did.
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
they did.
Yes. Yeah, they want you to stay in that 6,000 year time frame, which is ridiculous, but
yeah, they think they've got, you know, they think they push the divisions, you know, race divisions, religious divisions, vax status divisions, like any division they can push on us, they push on us because they don't want us together. But see, this is where they're confused. Like people will wake up. People are waking up, and we will naturally come together in spite of the lies that they push. No matter how many sheep they continue to brain drain, there will be enough of us at some point to come forth and say, we're not taking this shit no more, man.
That's right.
Like, we're done.
Shed these labels and these titles that they're giving us, and, you know, names and districts and townships and cities and states. That's all division.
Yes.
All that is.
We are
charting the planet itself, you know?
Man.
Was part of that. It was part of that separation, you know?
Well, that was fantastic tidbits. Like I said, we are going to drag you on Conspiracy Couch and let you go full blown, right? Let me thank real quick. Thank you, Hang 10 Alien Surfer, for the cookie. Thank you, Share Within, for the can. Thank you, Vet and More, for the cookie. You guys, I thank you for the gold pill love. Much love to all of you guys that want to support. You already know, loyal2ThaFoil.com. You can donate directly, or my Cash App, or throw the gold pills. It's the best way to help me keep on keeping on with this, because believe me, we are nowhere near done, man. We are just getting started. Um, so yeah, so I just wanted to let people see kind of what you be talking about. So you guys know, all his links are in the description on the YouTube channel below. Go follow.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you're gonna be seeing more of him. So now I got some questions for you, right?
All right.
We're gonna do my Tuesday Woosday craziness over here for sure. You know,
Okay.
normally I would do a little psychoanalysis first, but
All right.
since we did the presentation, I'm gonna get right to the nitty gritty. I have
Okay.
some serious questions for you.
All
Um,
right.
right, serious questions for you. Uh, and let me just start with this, man. Are we in the Matrix?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
And the reason I say yes, we are in the matrix, because my point is, we're all in our own reality every day that we've created and that we surround ourselves with every single day. And part of that is called anxiety. Okay. It's a matrix that we built around ourselves of worry of bills, worry of responsibility, tasks that must be done, that we feel like must be done. Just these patterns that we wake up and we do every single day. That is our matrix. Okay. It's not necessarily about if that's a real steak or if that's a real spoon. Okay. We're waking up every single day, not even interacting with our families at all.
It's the control matrix.
Coming back home. Yes. Coming back home, eating food, going to bed, repeating the same exact process. Okay. Most of us in our homes, house full of people, and we're on our cell phones, not even having a conversation with the actual people inside the house itself. Okay. And you might say, well, what's he saying? What's that have to do with the matrix? What I'm saying is that the matrix only is a false reality. Okay. It's a CGI, or it's a false reality that's been created to divert you from the true reality. Okay. So just that alone is a matrix.
Absolutely.
So just the responsibility they give you as an adult is a matrix.
Man, right?
Okay.
Cubicle
Which
culture.
all this anxiety, half the depression, and half this stuff we go through is just from that matrix alone, let alone the stuff they show us on the television. They tell lies to our vision through channels and programs. That's
Yes,
the
they
word,
do.
television. Okay. And through the television and through the media, these are all different matrices. I would say we're trapped in in about 12 different matrices at once.
Just
So you can unplug from
system
one.
on system on system on system, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And you're gonna fight. You're gonna unplug a bunch of wires on your way on your way up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's gonna be a lot. And I definitely say we are in the matrix. And I want to say it's a bunch of different matrices. So when you start to unplug, just be prepared for the
Right.
levels.
Like you ain't done yet. You gotta keep working. Right. It's a constant process. You gotta keep unplugging those for sure. For sure. I'm with you on that. For sure. Um Now, kind of on a serious note, like if you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would it be? What would it be?
I would say that's a good one. That's a good one. I would say if I wanted to know any question, it would be, did God create us or did we create him?
You think that's possible, that we created the notion of God? Like, how would that work?
It would be, I would say on that level, it would be as a support, as a support of not knowing. We all have that hunger to know everything that we can. Most of us, we want all the information that we could possibly get. And that's the only thing that has never been completely discovered or figured out. So it would say for for us not necessarily knowing exactly how we got here or where we were before we got here without speculation, it would be we had to create something to take that place, to be higher than us. There had to be something bigger.
Do
You know
you
what I
think
mean?
that all of our energies came from one source energy and then
Yeah, absolutely. 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 And they would call that Atom or Aten in Kemetic, but there's definitely the one source. But all I'm saying is, the question would be, did we create this whole religious thing, I'm saying,
I got you.
as a notion to answer a question that we knew we would never be able to answer?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, right. I mean, can you imagine if we just suddenly had no more speculation about that? Man,
Yeah,
that
or necessarily as a form of disciplinary too. If you thinking that if they keep you thinking that there's a supreme consequence,
I can see it. I
that
can
can keep
see it.
a lot of things in order. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
All
I
right.
feel like personally that we all come from the one source, and we're all expressions of the same source. That's Kemetic supreme science right there. Is we're all attributes and expressions of that one source.
I got a
That's
lot of
what
people
connects us
watching that
all.
would definitely agree with that, for
That's
sure.
how we can meditate. That's why when they say when you meditate, you connect to the one mind, because we're all an expression of that one mind,
Right, right.
you know,
Hmm.
or that light, so to speak.
Good answer. Okay. Um, if you could give your past self some
Mm.
advice, what would it be?
Mm. If I could tell myself anything, I would tell myself, it's okay to be smart.
Man, right?
It's okay to be a person who studies, learns, and experiences, because a lot of us from the neighborhood, like where I'm from, or just inner city neighborhoods, you get stuck in that matrix. There's another matrix, that your neighborhood,
Yep.
and no one expands out past that level of consciousness. You know what I mean? And some things are just looked down on,
Right.
like at some levels,
I know.
some level, even education is frowned upon,
Absolutely.
or just being somebody. Then sometimes they try to make it seem like you feel like you're better than someone because you
Hmm.
study and you're on other vibes than what everyone else is on. So what I spent a long time breaking through that and fighting with that. So if I had to go back and tell myself anything, it would be, you're not crazy, and
Yeah, right. That's for sure.
it's okay to know a few things.
Right. That is for sure. That is for sure. Right. Um, that is for sure. Uh, what? Well, I guess this might kind of go along with it. I also want to ask you, what do you think is the most important thing that you'll teach your kids?
Mm. That's a good one. That's a good one. Especially because I have all girls, so I'm a girl dad. So the one main thing that I want them to take away from anything I've said or yelled at them,
Right.
it would be, you are capable to do it yourself.
Absolutely.
A lot of times we wait on certain things to happen, or we just don't take advantage of certain things because we feel like we don't have what it takes to get something done or to achieve something. But I just hope my kids take from me that whatever you put your mind to, you can do it and you are capable. And that's what this whole supreme science thing is about. It's about empowerment and showing you that everything you see around you came from you. So how couldn't you master it?
Right. I can think that's a good
No,
lesson. That's a good lesson. You
you
know,
know.
that's a good lesson, right? Maybe when they get a little older, you go back and show them these videos you make, and they can take something away from that too,
Yeah, I hope
right?
so. I
The
hope
internet
so.
is forever, right?
Yeah, like, oh, don't show me my dad.
Right. Right?
I heard that enough growing up, you know.
Right, for sure, for sure. If you could convince everybody you know of one thing,
Mm.
and think of the people you know, something like what
Ooh,
what would it be?
that's a good one. Let's see. If they could agree with me on one thing, I'd say I would want it to be that this planet belongs to us and not Satan.
Man, I'm with that.
And we have total control on whatever happens here. See, a lot of people have been told that this world was given over to the devil and it's his now. And he rules this whole thing. Not true.
You don't
Only
think so?
reason why is because we're asleep.
Yeah, people invite him in. Like I have very personal experience with that. Like and
Absolutely.
I say I
Yeah.
mean, I have very
That's
personal experience with that.
They invite him in. You ever saw what was that? Fright Night with the vampires or whatnot, where you had to invite them in. They couldn't come in your house unless you invited them.
Right? That's definitely facts.
That's the whole spiritual world. Okay? I'm gonna tell you right here, that is the whole spiritual law. Spiritual law is no interference without invitation.
That's a really good way of putting it.
So if you're having spiritual involvement, you got to think about when you invited it. At some point,
That's
you
a really
did.
good way of putting it. Yeah, I tell like people all the time, like I'm very careful about what I open my mind to now because
Exactly.
all right, Alara, I see you. She's over here. Ask him about the aliens foil. What do you want to know specifically about the aliens, Alara? Right? What do you think about the aliens? Tell us your thoughts on the aliens, man. Did the aliens, we need to know, did they build the pyramids? I mean, what happened? Tell us about the aliens. What do you think?
Okay. My take on the aliens would be if we look at all great civilizations, first of all, if we look at every great civilization, they all pay homage to a star system. Whether it be the Kemites, which would be Sirius and Orion or Osar, or if we would say the Sumerians with Nibiru, which was a star system of two suns, if you read the Lost Book of Enki. Okay, so they claim that they were aliens. Enki was an alien, if you want to say, so to speak.
Oh, well, trust me, there are great people that will agree with that.
Right. All of our greatest civilizations had some type of extraterrestrial involvement. Like even today we talk about the Greys. Well, if you know anything about the Greys, they come from the star system of the Betelgeuse.
Right.
All right. So I would say that my take on it is we're the only aliens that don't know it, that don't know we are.
I think there's a lot of people that would probably agree with that.
We're stuck here through this gravitational mental force that is keeping us grounded, okay? While all these other beings are moving around faster than the speed of light, traveling from galaxies to ours in seconds, only because time only exists inside this planet. And that was the point I wanted to make too, is the thing about these spirits and the thing about prayer also is the reason it doesn't happen immediately is because time doesn't exist in the spiritual world. You're waiting on time in a place where time doesn't exist. Okay, so maybe 20 years from now you saw something, you can't figure out why it happened. It's because that long ago it was manifested even back then.
Well, I say all the time, I don't believe in time. Time is time. The imposition of the idea of time was to put us all in a slave mentality. To have to break up instead of just being and enjoying and living in the moment, in the day. There are very, what are they? Very monotime thinking, like everything has to be broken down into little blocks. I don't really live that way. No. Like I'm a polychron. Like it is what it is. I'm not a monochron. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's control. It's control. It's all robotics. You know,
For
that's
sure.
all it is. And the same thing is, even if you look at this whole industry of robotics and things they're coming with, every one of these things come from something in the human body. This is how they figure it all out. They study you and then they sell you back to you.
Man, for sure. Oh, look, I just ran into some crazy shit yesterday. As a matter of fact, I had started pulling information to make a video on it. You know, you've seen Sophia, the robot that they made, that they gave citizenship to in Saudi Arabia? It's an AI, but it's got, it's got a human form or whatever.
Right.
Now they're making little Sophia dolls sold by the same company, Hanson Robotics, right?
Yeah.
To teach your children. And what I found out when I was looking, and this tripped me out, uh, some of the funding for the operating system that these AI run on came
Yeah.
from Jeffrey Epstein.
Go figure.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're making little ones to sell to your kids. They're like 300 grand. I mean, granted, we'll never be able to afford those damn things. I wouldn't want one in my house anyway. I don't even have Siri or Alexa. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. But,
right. Yeah.
right. But I found out, surprise, guys, Jeffrey Epstein was funding AI.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right. Some of that
Go
OpenCog. The system was called OpenCog, and he had dumped a bunch of money into that before he did not kill himself. Yeah,
They
Robot
always
Rants.
invest in that
That's right.
training. They always invest in that training.
Man.
They put all their money in. See, even if you were to pay that 300 grand for that robot, it still wouldn't give you this. What we're doing here tonight,
Absolutely
family,
not.
you're not going to get this. You're going to get your basic mathematics and your basic slave mentality to continue to be trained to be a robot for them, and to
That's
just continue.
what they want, though, right? They model the robots on us. They want us to model ourselves on the damn robots.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
They make us think in ancient times that they wanted to use us, as they say that, these gods used us or created us to be slaves. No, it's
Right.
these powers that be that are creating us to be these slaves, and we got to break out of that.
For sure. Speaking of robots, I know my
Yes.
friend Belushi's in the chat, because listen, anytime I start talking about robots, I got to go on some kind of robot rant, right? I'm so against that shit. But so what do you think? What do you think is a preferable situation? Would you rather have a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse, and why? I ask everybody this. I gotta know.
I'd rather have a zombie apocalypse, because I feel like they'd be easier to kill.
Right? Yeah, ain't nobody trying to fight the robots, man. Do you think we have?
I saw that movie. I can't remember the name of it right offhand, but it was one of my favorites of that robot that they had made. And those things are tough to kill, man. I watched that Boston robotics stuff too, man.
Oh, listen, they've really amped up. They've really stepped their game up. Boston Robotics, and
I feel like zombies are a lot slower.
Yeah, right. Right. Physically and mentally, just slower, right?
Yeah, and there's already like a lot of sores and things going on, so it should be easy penetrable.
Right. Yeah, easy to kill. I'm with that.
Yeah, easy kill. I'm going for the easy kill in the apocalypse. All right.
Right. And we have some ideas on what to do in the event of a zombie apocalypse. At least we think we do, right?
Yeah, we got exactly.
Right. What up, First Branch? What up, Be the Light? Good to see you guys. Dodie, Danny, AP. I don't know if I shouted you guys out. Neo, I see you there. Hello, my love. Hello, Neo. I was on there chatting with her this morning. That was awesome. All right. Okay. This is kind of a generic question, but if you could meet any person, living or dead, who would you want to meet, and why?
That's a good question. I would say if I could meet anybody, I would say it would be Akhenaten.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I would like to pick his brain and see, because this was the changeover of Kemet. Okay, this was the evolution. This was the evolution of Kemet that was actually destroyed a little later on, but the lineage had lived on for a little while longer. But when they switched it over from Amen to Aten.
Yeah, so he's the one that brought the monotheism into he tried anyway, but his priests were pissed.
That's what they say. Yeah, but actually it was a frequency. the sun had changed frequencies. Amen was a frequency, actually is a number. Okay. Aten is another frequency. And if we know anything about the sun, we know it changes frequencies 12 times a year, 12 frequencies every year. It switches its personality 12 times a year. And Aten, and have you ever heard of how they talk about the 24,000 years of the evolution of the earth?
The cycle, are you talking about
the cycle? Okay, yeah. So in that point, it was switching from Amen to Aten. Okay, it was the energy, like how they say we're going to the Aquarian age, is what they were basically saying. You know what I mean? And the priests of Amen at that point were so powerful and so rich and vast that they just weren't ready to tap out, so to speak. And they fought against it, and that's what kind of brought the whole thing down, which actually enabled us to be invaded later on, to never be a powerful nation again, So I just really want, if I could talk to anyone, I'd like to talk to Akhenaten on the importance of, and of how everything went then and exactly what all that was about, because that's
like, how did you think that was going to go, man? That's what I want to, like, did you think that was going to work out? Like, I'm just curious. You thought you had this down? Like, just wondering.
Yeah, just changed the whole theology after 20,000 years,
right. People were a little pissed. Yeah.
Got a lot of people killed. His son was killed. King Tut, we know, was killed. A lot of people. A lot of things happened there. That was kind of like the fall of Kemet there. And that was a big change. So that's my answer.
That's a good answer. My dude AP wants to know, do you think Earth is a prison planet?
Good question. I think they would like it to be. And I think they would like it to be, definitely, but hopefully channels
only
like
if we let it be.
Exactly. Hopefully platforms like this, is what's going to be part of the resistance to make sure that never happens.
Right.
But they definitely keep us in that mental prison, first of all, which only can lead to a physical prison later.
We are the resistance, sir. We are the resistance. That's right.
That's right.
Give me an example of something that you used to absolutely believe, but now you were wrong.
I used to believe that the creator was the most powerful thing and that we were the powerless sheep. I believed that I was a sheep that had to just follow order and law. And today I realized that I was more than a sheep, that I'm actually a creator on this level. And which was one of the gifts that the creator gave all of us, was to actually create on this level. So if I would say that, I would say that I used to be just a follower, when I realized that I also could lead now too. We all can.
Absolutely. Babs, the Ice Queen, says she thinks Earth is hell. It feels like it sometimes, right? It feels like it.
We can manifest it to be that. Well, we know hell comes from the word Helios. And if we know anything about Helios, that's actually the sun. So when we even say, what is hell? What would that be anyway? But we manifest all these things. Is what is my point. Anything under this atmosphere, anything in this womb, is what we manifest. We can turn it to hell, or we can make it heaven. A lot of people don't know. If we know anything about sunspots, we know that sunspots is like the personality of the sun. When it starts creating these sunspots is when weird things start going on in the universe. But what a lot of other people don't know is every single world war that we've had on planet Earth, sunspots were being created at the same exact time.
Man, maybe the radiation just got in people's heads and made them nuts, right?
The messenger, absolutely. The solar system, is controlled by, all this stuff is fixed. The planets are in a fixed position. The stars are in a fixed position, all because of the sun. They don't move. You're going to find those same stars. Your grandkids are going to look up in the sky and see those same exact stars.
Right.
you know, and that's all fixed by the sun. And that's what the gravitational pull is. Okay. For those who might not believe in gravity, but it's just a little point of how gravity exists. All right. The stars don't go anywhere. They're fixed.
We love the flat earth people. We've talked about this.
Yes, we do. Oh,
I
do too. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there is a thing called gravity, and it does other things than keep you walking on the planet or keep the water inside.
So do you think that consciousness itself is like a prime force in the universe?
I should say consciousness is the result of two prime sources, which would be stillness and motion. See, friction is what gives us creation. Something still and something in motion creates that vibration and that spark. That's what created all this. This is how you create a life yourself. You have the womb, and then you have the strike. You have to, everything has to be struck. Okay. If you look at the stars, let's say how they use a 5-point star and a 6-point star. We know that a 5-point star represents feminine energy. A 6-point star is masculine energy. Okay. And they say Cain had the 2 stars. Cain was a smith. What's the smith do? He strikes with the hammer. That was the 6-point star striking the 5-point star, creating that spark, which creates life. You as a man is a 6-point star. Your wife is a 5-point star. When you combine and it is struck, and that friction from that motion from the stillness is where we get creation. All right. I would say consciousness. So I would say consciousness is that birth, is that creation. Consciousness is that friction that awakened everything.
I'm with you. All right. So
Kemetic science terms.
So this is also a question I ask everybody. Do you think you could be friends with a clone of yourself?
I'd say no.
Me neither. Why? Thank you for the can, Mystic Wanderer.
Just to hang out with me would just be documentaries and you know. I mean, it's not too exciting. It ain't too exciting on this side all the time, you know.
My great cult leader Methods was on here with me last Tuesday. He said he could not be friends with a clone of himself because there can only be one. And I was rocking with that, right? I was like, yeah, that's the answer right there.
Ain't enough room for both of us.
Right? Ain't enough room for both of us, for sure. All right. So, okay, which individual or corporation or country or organization would you totally bankrupt if you had the chance?
United Emirates.
Why?
Because they are in complete and total control of our fossil fuel and our resource of energy on this planet. And everything that they use that money for, that they take from all of us, has no actual use for the human family, period. They want to take it all to Mars with them and leave us all here.
Listen, man, the rich people is definitely trying to go to Mars and leave us all here.
They already have the model station over there in the Middle East right now in the desert. They're already simulating them living on Mars under that dome. Yeah, right. So they got no plans on doing anything for us as human beings, period. They ready to get out of here.
They did, like, hey, listen, I firmly believe that them people think something's coming, and that, like, we see rich people building bunkers and trying to go. Everybody's going to New Zealand, and you got like Elon and Bezos and them trying to get the hell out of here.
Right. Because when we wake up, it's over for them.
Right. You think
off with their heads?
What do you? Is that what you think is coming? I mean, what do you think? Do you feel like something big is heading our? What you think it's us? It's the awakening.
It's us coming for them.
It's the Great Awakening.
Absolutely. It's us. It's not going to be an opening of the clouds. It's not going to be a sun burst or a sun flare. It's going to be activation of the human family of all races and ages to come together. And it's in all their movies. It's in all their movies.
I think
We just don't do it.
Alara would agree with you on that. Do you think there'll be, thank you for the cookie, Redfish. All right, Belushi, much love to you. Do you think there'll be some kind of cataclysm before that?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And we all know what that's going to be, nuclear.
You think so? Oh,
Absolutely.
I definitely think we're headed for shenanigans.
That's one of the reasons why they want to get, that's one of the reasons why they want to get out of here. They know that they're going to leave the earth scorched.
Yeah, I can see
And we
that.
all seen the book of Eli. Don't nobody want to be around for all that.
Ain't nobody got time for that, for sure. For sure.
Exactly.
For sure, right?
You see that water.
Yeah,
water.
Ain't nobody trying to do all that. Like, I got other shit to do, for sure.
Exactly.
All right, would you rather never get angry or never be jealous?
I would say I'd rather never get angry, because I could say jealousy in a sense can motivate.
I've had people tell me that before. That's interesting. Okay, tell me about that.
Because I can, in the one sense of jealousy, you can just see things that you wonder, how do you get that? I want that too. What did he do to get that? What did they do to achieve that? And that might make you do a little bit of research to do it yourself. If I'm just mad, then it's all shut down. It's just all bad. Okay, you can't listen to anyone. If you're angry, you can't listen to anyone. You can't comprehend anything. So a little bit of jealousy ain't bad, because it can be used as fuel.
Well, Thumper Rose says anger can be righteous.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It definitely can. The anger can definitely be righteous in the sense of the apocalypse we're talking about.
Right. I think we all have some level of righteous anger and righteous indignation at the system that they forced us into.
Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That anger is what's going to definitely have to fuel us eventually.
Man. So what's something in the course of the day that your brain tries to make you do, but you have to force yourself not to do it? Like, do you get that? Like, I get that all the time. Like these tendencies to do shit, and I gotta be like, nah, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, first off, sleep in past my alarm.
Right.
That's number one.
For
all
sure.
Right. But well, my mind, the way my mind works, I'm an Aquarius, so it's like what I have to do is I have to snap out of my mind. I can go days without actually existing on this level. I have to step back into, so to speak, the body. Right. You know what I mean? A lot of times I'm on autopilot. You
got to force yourself. I mean but they want you to be on autopilot. Man.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about earlier. Going working, waking up, sleeping. That same routine is what gets you on that. But then there's a lot of times too, it might be anxiety or just whatever it might be, but just being in your mind. A lot of us we're always in our head. We don't never really get to experience certain things, because even during that great experience, you're thinking so much that you honestly don't even actually experience what happened.
Man,
I've had that happen to me a lot.
Not in the moment. That's probably one of the biggest lessons that we have to learn, is to be present. Like, I still struggle with that sometimes. Like, I find myself just tuned out, but that's, again, tuned out. They want to change your frequency, where you're just vibing at the frequency they want you at, instead of where you ought to be.
Exactly. Sure. Which is under 42 megahertz, by the way. Anything under 47 megahertz, family, cancer can only exist in a system under 47 megahertz, for all my frequency people.
Oh, there's a lot of frequency people out here, for sure. So tell me, what's the most interesting thing that you've read or seen this week?
This week? let's see. I would say I was doing a little metaphysic research, and what I had found out is what I was telling you earlier about the what we were talking about, the Greys and being from Beetlejuice, and how the technology, some of the technology that we use, that the government had brought out, and certain things with like Face ID and just other certain things
Oh,
like that,
listen,
and
that's
certain,
their whole digital eye. That's their whole plan
yeah,
right now.
yeah. It's all part of their plan to like you were saying, to keep us dumbed down and keep us pretty much dormant through the whole thing, you know. So I was just watching. The most interesting thing I seen, you know, like I said, I watched a lot of documentaries, so it's really just about space travel and how the Greys are involved with our government.
Now, yeah, they are. Well, as a matter of fact, like there was allegedly a treaty that President
Yes,
Eisenhower signed. The
absolutely.
treaty of what is it, Griata? Is that right, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. That he signed with the Greys to exchange technology for biological
Right.
samples and stuff from humanity. What do you think they're doing with that stuff?
Everything 5G, like I said, face recognition, all this recognition and thumb recognition and all this stuff like that is all this technology that they're using. Everything is going to be online. Your mind, everything's going to be on the
Oh,
same frequency, like you were saying.
uh
That's the key at the end.
I don't know if you saw, there's a company, like, I talk a lot about Elon Musk. He's got a company called Neuralink that's got that
Mm-hmm.
brain chip. But
Right.
last week, there was another company that got approved by the FDA
Yeah.
to do to for testing in the United States. Now they've already been doing this in Australia, but there was a company, I think it's called the what synchrotron maybe, or the brain chip implant that they're actually not even going in through your skull. It can access your brain through your blood path, through your blood vessels, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they
Yeah.
admit it. Oh, thank you, Be the Light, for the EMP. I love you. Much love to you. That's mad love there. Thank you. Um, where they openly admitted that their entire goal is total consciousness transfer, total consciousness download. Like you said, they want to put
Right.
us, because if we're all stuck online, we're not taking up their resources, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. And it's like they talk about replaying your memories and storing your memories and all that, you know, and it's like, hello, that's called depression. All right. I already have enough problems with my memories. I don't need them stored anywhere else.
you got
All
that
right.
you got that chronic short-term memory problem, right?
Yeah. I don't need any of those memories stored anywhere to the end of time. Okay.
Man,
I'm trying hard enough to forget them myself. All right.
right? Not even that, but I mean, they have the
Yeah.
technology now. I did a video on something that they call Djeds, right? Which are designer, um designer molecules for brain receptor changes. They can literally implant or manipulate memories, and they have the technology to implant or change your
Right.
memories already.
Right.
Much less imagine when they can download your consciousness. Like, I mean, like, I know the stuff sounds sci-fi, but like, it's so real.
It
Like,
is real.
we are
It is.
there. Like,
Yes.
we are there, man.
Mm-hmm.
We are definitely there. Like, I mean, God forbid, like, what happens when they start and I talk all the time that we need, like, we talk about shit like freedom of speech, and freedom from, like,
Right.
undue search and seizure. We need freedom of thought, and a constitutional protection on our
On our thought.
privacy of thought.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're right. You're
What
right.
happens when they start brain raping you, and selling your memories, to other people that want to experience, I mean, just whatever twisted
Exactly.
shenanigans they can come up with, you
Yeah,
know.
let people live your life and stuff like that. It's weird.
Isn't it
It's weird.
crazy? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I really think people have just, like, a lot of these people are just, I always say they lost their damn minds, but they haven't. They are very maniacally manipulating us into
Absolutely.
this. They want us like you said, there's levels to the matrix. There's matrix on
Mhm.
matrix. Like they want to put us in such a base level that we can never get out.
Yep.
Like really,
Exactly.
I really
Exactly.
think that. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
In the
Um,
prism, in the prism or prison. That's where the word prison comes from. The prison, in the prism. They
man,
trap us in the prism.
yeah, they do. They want to take our light consciousness and trap it in a prism, man, for sure.
Absolutely. That's exactly what they've been doing. That was the key. That was the thing from the very beginning.
Man, you know, they've been planning it for so long. Like when we look back, like you can look back, like of course they call us all conspiracy theorists. This is all tinfoil hat. Like, but if
Right.
you look back, I mean, we can see there have been people whistling on this, blowing the whistle on this shit forever. I mean, they have documents talking about the development of, like using your TV to change your thought patterns in the
Right.
40s and 50s.
That's right.
D-class documents.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's right.
it's wild.
That's
It's
right.
wild, man.
I remember on Batman. You remember when Jim Carrey was the Riddler? They had the box, you know,
Man,
and ironically, it was a green light going directly to your forehead or your third eye. You know,
man. Yeah, right,
they show it in all their movies. I
right.
mean, that's one reason why I watch half the movies. Is I can't watch movies because I'm really watching it. You know, I can't
Man,
enjoy it because I'm just decoding the whole
decode,
movie.
right? I get stuck doing that. Once you're awake and you start to see the little
Yeah,
symbols everywhere and
yeah.
you start to pick up like what they're putting down, you can't unsee it,
No,
and there's no unsee button, man. Like you're just stuck, right?
that's right. That's why I couldn't be a clone with a friend with a clone of me because we'd both be breaking too much stuff down. We never have fun. It never be any fun.
Right? No fun. It would just be work all the time, right? For sure. Um, Scott Robinson, you said what's going on now that can break the blood-brain barrier? They have a brain chip, a brain computer interface, a BCI that was approved by the FDA for use in the United States that they don't even need to, like, Elon uses the robot to cut into your head and implant the chip. Now they have one that can go in almost like with the same technology they use to put in a heart stent, and it will go up and connect itself to your brain on its own. They you don't even have to have any kind of major surgery for this or whatever. Like it's crazy. They just approved this last week. Um I was ranting about that a while ago. I'm trying to see what else I might have missed in the chat. I am trying to keep an eye on you guys. Um man, Thumper Rose says, "Is this what happened to Atlantis? Did they make the wrong choice?"
Well, we all know that what happened to Atlantis was continental shift.
You think? You don't think they
Absolutely.
technologically screwed themselves?
Well, if you know anything about let's just say in supreme science, we know that after a certain amount of years, every planet or star switches its rotation and its polarity.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in that 24,000 or 25,000 year period, which is actually the circumference of the planet Earth, we not only does the polarity of the North and the South Pole switch,
Right.
right
Oh, so you
now,
think they got caught in a pole shift?
right now, the pole is at a North Pole is at a negative.
Well, I
And
think we're quickly heading towards another pole shift. Like
absolutely. I
I
think we are in Aquarian age. So after that, we're getting close.
man, I remember in maybe 2019, the North Pole has been steadily moving and it finally moved into Russian territory, and I remember making all kinds of jokes about how the Russians stole the North Pole. Uh but yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're getting there. Um all right. Would you rather have more time or more money?
Time.
Why?
I'd say time because I have 5 girls and I want to see them grow up and become beautiful women.
I bet you do, right? Right?
So give me the time over the money. I'll just let me watch them grow up.
Right, for sure. Um, hmm. Would you rather have, if you were going to get into a fight, right? Would you rather have Rambo or the Terminator as your wingman?
That's a good one. That's tough. That's tough. Even though I don't believe Rambo can be killed, I had to go with the Terminator. Okay.
Right? Ah, that's funny, right? Rambo was the dude, man. Like he just
That was my guy. Yeah, definitely. But I got to go with the machine on that one.
right. They do have some benefits, I suppose, if they're cool. Like, if they're
Yeah,
cool
defend me.
robots,
Defend me. Yes.
right? Um, hmm, hmm. Uh, what are you terrible at? Like, what are you hilariously bad at? Is there something you can think of that you just try and like you're just freaking terrible at it, but it's funny to you? And you just keep trying anyway?
Drawing, art.
Are you the
I
stick?
tried.
You got stick?
I
Are you the
tried.
stick figures? Right? You try.
Yeah. Yeah. You see these hieroglyphs behind me?
I was
Okay. I
just
did not
looking at
draw
them,
these.
right?
I did not draw these.
I see what looks like a spaceship up there. Are those the is that a recreation of the hieroglyphs from Abydos?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I had said that to you on one of your channels one time. I see something that looks kind of like a UFO. I see another one that looks almost like a plane up there.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Proof of what we were saying before about how nothing's been invented as of recently. It's all been here. Flight, all of that has always existed.
Well, they have that. They also found what they call a bird that they found in Abydos that is a perfectly designed flight machine. And it's not a bird. It looks like a damn plane or a glider of some sort.
Yeah.
You know. I mean,
Right.
do you think that we pull ideas from like a collective, like, the Akashic record, or, from
Right.
some collective level that we pull our ideas? Like, is that where you think Tesla got his notions from?
Well, Tesla got it from the Kemites, but the Kemites got it from that mind, and that mind is what they call Thoth or Tahuti.
Tell me about
That Hermes, he is the mind. He is the thought. Thought is Thoth. It's the same exact thing.
Now,
And that's
he's the
what we all
one that had
draw.
the emerald tablets?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Which is actually wasn't a person. It's a energy or force, which is just your memory. It's connected to your memory directly, but it is the Akashic records. It's the one mind. That's why if you see in the hieroglyphs, you always see him standing behind Osiris.
Oh, I got you.
Keeping the records to everything that happens and exists.
I got you. Huh.
But these are all forces, though. These are not gods or actual people that
live.
So
you don't think that, like, because I tend to think maybe, even though, like I said, I get into an argument all the time with Alara. If you ever watch, you'll see. Like, I tend to think that that the fallen angels came down here and put themselves up like they were gods, and they gave people information to get them to be on whatever functional level that they needed.
Right.
So you don't think that these were alien beings or some other being that came down here and gave us information? You think we pulled this information from this mass consciousness?
Absolutely. That created us. Yes. And if you think about, the thing about the Bible code is if you think of angels, you got to think angles. Angels are angles. So 144 angles or 144,000 angles or angels come from the crystal city. The crystal city is your brain. 144,000 nerve endings coming from the brain, creating the central nervous system to activate the body to all nerves. So when you're thinking of fallen, you're thinking of angles. This is about your creation. This isn't the creation of a planet. This is the creation of you. Everything was created at once. When this universe was created, you were standing here when it was done, because it was all made at one time. When the crystal city in heaven created the universe, the crystal city in your mind, which is your brain, which we all know is a universe under when they scan it. It looks just like a universe. The neurons and everything.
Honestly, it really does. Like they've been showing
It
dark
looks like
matter
the
maps. It
universe.
looks like neuron pathways in the brain, and yeah, that
Exact matches. Yes, some of them are star maps in your mind, in your brain. They find star maps in your mind for all my, aliens out there. You know where you came from is right there in your mind, and you're gonna go back there when it's time. You already got the map right inside.
So do you think we have visitors from other planets that physically come here?
Yes.
And what do you think they're doing?
Yes, I know we do. I know we do. And I just want to say the fact that the only reason why they don't bring it out like we feel like it should be brought out is because they honestly can't even exist under this type of womb, so to speak. Anyway, like they can't be here forever. You get what I'm saying? Like if you come here and you try to exist, then you're gonna have to go through the cycle of life. You're gonna have to
do you
come
believe
through
in
a womb.
stars, like star seeds, like that?
Yes.
Because there are a lot of people that watch this. Like, I see Alara's back. She says you're making a lot of sense. That believe that they are born back into a body, that they're from somewhere else. Their consciousness is from somewhere else. That they, incarnate here maybe to carry out a certain mission or to play a certain role here.
Yes.
But that when they die, they're going to go back and rejoin their star family.
Absolutely. That's why we call ourselves Aquarians, Pisces, Geminis. You can't recognize a star system to control your personality and not be it. So if you're going to recognize the zodiac, you got to recognize the extraterrestrial in yourself. That's what the whole zodiac is telling you, the influence of the extraterrestrial. The sun's an extraterrestrial.
Oh, listen. Since you brought since you brought it up, and since I know Alara happens to be in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about the sun and the sun, S-O-N. Tell me about, because I caught you talking about this one time too.
Okay, well, you got the sun, and then the S-U-N sun, then you have the S-O-N sun. The S-U-N son of God and the S-O-N son of God. And each one of those sons have 12 disciples. The Christ has 12 disciples, and the S-U-N son has 12 constellations that follow it around this whole universe. And those gospels are those energies that those 12 disciples or the 12 constellations send off that are part of your personality or spirit. And your spirit is coming from, the Holy Spirit is coming from these constellations or these disciples. The gospels are coming from these disciples, from the messenger, which is the S-U-N son or the S-O-N son, which is just as above, so below. That's just the science of that.
It's funny you said as above, so below, because she literally just was typing that. You guys would get along freaking great. That's funny. That's funny. So, oh no, are we starting a buffer, guys? Yeah, I'm going to go get the new toaster. I promise you, I'm going to go this weekend, and I will have a new toaster by next week, one way or another. Right? I'm determined. I joke because my computer is not what I needed. I think we talked about this the other day. My computer is not what I needed, so I definitely got to go get something else for starting to buffer. What do you think causes the most harm in the world, but is just totally avoidable? Something that we all do that we could not do that would definitely better our plight here.
I would say looking for answers on the outside instead of the inside.
That's a good answer. Tell me about that.
We look for everything. We look for all our explanations through our eyes and what we see on the outside, when actually the answers to every single mystery in this universe is inside of us.
Yeah, our eyes lie to us too. We don't see it.
They
Like,
love to.
they're very limited. Our perception of what we consider to be the visual spectrum, our perception of the light spectrum,
That's
doesn't
right.
show us anything near to what is actually here.
Right. And it says the eyes have to flip the image. So what are we really even seeing? Because if you're looking out right now, this is actually a flipped image.
Oh, that is true.
So it's like, are we upside down or are we straight? What are we?
Right? I never really thought about that, right? That is
how
true.
am I really perceiving this reality if my eyes have to flip it for me to see it like it is now?
So are we in the upside down?
Dancing on the ceiling, Lionel Richie, right?
Right. Right.
It's all in the music too. It's in the movies and the music.
Yeah, they do. They tell us. They tell us. You know, should I tell them the son's name, Alara? Hey, Maxidon, good to see you.
Oh, here we go.
Alara, I don't know if the son told her his name, but I don't know if I'm allowed to share that yet. That's gonna have to be her great reveal, right? I was very underwhelmed, by the way.
That's
man.
actually a Kemetic story also too, you know.
Oh, do tell. Share with us.
Well, I mean, there was, when Osiris had died, Isis was trying to figure out the secret to bring him back to life. And to figure out the secret, she had to steal a book from Thoth to get the name of Ra, to get the secret name of Ra. And once she got the secret name of Ra, Ra gave her the key to life, which was able to bring Osiris back to life to give birth to Horus.
Huh. That is interesting. I did not know. Yeah, the son might have lied to Alara in that instance.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know if that was the same name, but
right. I don't know, man. Man. Do you think? All right, let me put it this way. If, say, you had an island that you discovered and you were going to start a civilization on it. Okay. What would be the first law that you enacted? Would you even have laws?
I would say if I had my own island, it would be you could only be there with if you had complete belief in the human experience and the human power. You know what I mean? So to speak, I would say you would have to be woke. You would have to be woke.
Just woke island, right?
The slave mentality, exactly. The slave mentality, all that dependence on other things wouldn't be able to exist.
I can dig that. Woke, you know? Or awake?
Awake.
Yeah, buddy.
Absolutely.
Right?
Awake. Yeah.
Awake. Yeah. Right? For sure. Man.
Woke's like the beginning of it.
Well, and now it's been twisted. Like, you know, now they've twisted. They you know, we used to be able to call ourselves woke, and now they done ruined all that. Exactly. Right? They done just trampled all over what we thought was woke. Right?
They killed the woke movement for sure.
Man, murked it. Like, done.
Yeah. I'd rather be awakened. Give me the awakening.
Right?
I'll talk with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Man, well, this was actually a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to bring you on here.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'm having a great time. I want to shout out to everyone in the chat too, man. Even some of the family. I see y'all out there. It's all love.
Absolutely. You have anything? Do you have another video coming up soon? You have something you want to tell the people about? What do you want to tell them?
Yes, actually coming up this Sunday, it'll be a new video on EyeGod TV, which is live from Planet Earth Season 1, which is the first part of the series, you know, which is this awakening of the human being. itself, and I do videos on Sundays, not necessarily every Sunday because it takes a lot of research for what I have to bring out. So sometimes it might take 2 weeks instead of one, but on Sundays is when I usually like to drop. And this Sunday will be a new video, and we're just going to be continuing the journey to our activation. So that way, when it's time to take force, we have full ability, the real Jedi.
Right. The whole real force, right? For sure. Alara, they're asking if you have did you ever go? I told him the other day to go on pilled.net and make an account. Did you do? I know he made he does have a DLive. There's,
Yes.
I think, did you do Twitch? Let me see. I forget
Not
what
yet. Twitch and the other one are under construction. Those are all be going on within the week.
I've got
those up.
Perfect. I got links to your YouTube and to your
Yes.
DLive in my description below below on my YouTube. If you guys go over and give him a follow, we are going to get him over on Pilled, so that he can come chat with the fam in the Foxhole chats for sure.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Right? Yeah, I'm hooking him up, guys. Calm down. You're going to make a Pilled account, fam. All right?
Yes,
We're not
I
having
will.
any argument
I'm on
about
that.
it, right? You got to do that, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Well, you guys know what it is. Friday night, you will find me with Tyler Koala. We're doing a little conspiracy theory trivia. Don't forget this Thursday, right? Thursday at 10:30. Alara, we are doing for Conspiracy Couch. We're going to have Scott from Woke Societies on. We are going to be talking about alien abduction experiences. It is a call-in show, so if you want to call in and tell us about your alien abduction experience, we definitely want to hear that. Yes, Alara knows the secret name of the sun, guys. I can't tell you. You got to ask her. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, much love to you guys all. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to you guys for watching on Foxhole. Oh, good Lord. Hold on. Before I go clicking up off of here, let me go give these guys their lottery tickets and their lemons on DLive. My bad. I almost forgot. They would have strung me up for that. Now, y'all know my toaster is slow, so just work with me here. Right? Right. Oh, tomorrow night. Oh, yeah, tomorrow night. Sorry, I almost forgot. We're doing a live dig on. I did totally forget about that, Alara. I'm glad you said something. We're going to be digging on AI, on smart dust, on the sentient black goo. We're going to be talking about graphene. We're going to be talking about all of that. What time are we doing that, Alara? I know I'm terrible, man. I forgot. Right? I think that's at 9:30. Yeah, that'll be at 9:30 tomorrow night. What up, LA Addicts? I see you over there. Hey, Yuvonda. Good to see you. Let me go. I'm going to have to put some lemons in here. They get rewards on DLive, just so you know, for when you do your channel. They can get like lemons for watching and participating in the chat. I did that. And then on Foxhole, they get lottery tickets, which they love. Let me go over here and give these people their scratching. Yes, 9:30 Eastern tomorrow will be the live AI smart dust sentient goo graphene dig. I imagine we'll come across some crazy shit for that for sure.
I'll definitely be tuned in.
Yeah, come hang out for sure. Yeah, and if you ever catch us like when we're doing Conspiracy Couch, call in. We get all kinds
of. I will. We'll get back on this extraterrestrial thing.
Yes, right. Yes, for sure. I mean, and then Sundays. I don't know if you caught that. I swear we got attacked by the Archons on Sunday, man. My stuff kept going down. They kicked us off of YouTube. Alara's stuff wasn't working. Like, it was a mess. Thank you for all the gold pill love, guys. I love you. Your scratching tickets are released. I'm going to give you guys a minute. I'll let the outro music play. Yeah, so go follow my dude, EyeGod TV. Much love to the fam. Until next time, you know what to do. Guys, stay loyal.
Peace.
Well, that was fun. Now, we're still live. They can hear you. Normally, I would trick you and just let it hot mic, but I don't know what the hell you might say, so...
No, I appreciate that, though. Thanks again. I really appreciate this. It was a great time. I knew it would be a great time because I watched your episode, so I knew it would be fun. Some real questions had my brain sparking. They really had me thinking for a minute there.
Some of them are hard to answer on the spot, man. But, some are hard to answer on the spot. How long have we been talking about this shit, though, man? Years.
Yeah, forever. Years. So it's been, right. That was a lot more comfortable with that because we've had these type of conversations, too. So I knew you were gonna go. I knew you were gonna take it there, so I had to be prepared.
Right. I'm glad you got to come hang out with